Geography, history, politics, economy, culture, and daily life in one short video. Russia is the largest country in the world by land area, stretching across Eastern Europe and Northern Asia. It covers 11 time zones and reaches from the Baltic Sea in the west to the Pacific Ocean in the east. In this video we will take a neutral look at Russia's geography, history, political system, economy, culture, and everyday life, to help you understand the basics behind the headlines. Geographically, Russia is enormous and diverse. The western part, including cities like Moscow and St. Petersburg, is more densely populated and has long been the political and cultural heart of the country. Further east, the Ural Mountains traditionally mark the border between Europe and Asia. Beyond them lies Siberia, a vast region of forests, rivers, tundra and mountains with harsh winters and relatively few people. To the south, Russia borders countries in the Caucasus and Central Asia, while to the north it faces the Arctic Ocean, where melting ice has opened new sea routes. The population is around 145 million people, with the majority living in urban areas. Russia's history is long and complex. Early East Slavic states and principalities gradually united under the Grand Duchy of Moscow, which grew into the Russian Empire. By the 18th and 19th centuries, the empire was ruled by tsars and had expanded across much of Eurasia. At the same time, many people lived as peasants under difficult conditions, and ethnic minorities were subject to varying degrees of control and assimilation. In the early 20th century, defeat in war, economic problems, and social unrest led to the Russian Revolution of 1917. The Tsarist monarchy collapsed, and after a civil war the Bolsheviks established a socialist state that became known as the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union played a central role in world history in the 20th century. It rapidly industrialized, but this came with heavy human costs, including political repression and famines. During World War II, known in Russia as the Great Patriotic War, Soviet forces suffered enormous losses but eventually pushed back Nazi Germany and helped defeat it. After the war, the Soviet Union and the United States became rival superpowers in the Cold War, competing in politics, ideology, military strength, and space exploration. In 1991, the Soviet Union dissolved, and its largest successor state, the Russian Soviet Republic, became the independent Russian Federation. Modern Russia is a federal state with a presidential system. The president is the head of state and holds significant power, while the prime minister is the head of government. The national parliament consists of two chambers, the State Duma and the Federation Council. There are multiple political parties, but critics argue that the space for opposition is limited and that media and elections are strongly influenced by the ruling authorities. The country is divided into regions, republics, and territories, some of which have their own local governments and cultural identities, especially in areas with non-Russian ethnic majorities. Economically, Russia is rich in natural resources. It is one of the world's largest producers of oil and natural gas, and energy exports have long been a major source of income for the state. The country also has large reserves of minerals, metals, timber, and freshwater. At the same time, dependence on raw materials makes the economy vulnerable to changes in global prices and to sanctions. After the transition from a planned economy in the 1990s, many state assets were privatized, which led to the rise of powerful business figures often called oligarchs. In the 2000s and 2010s, periods of high energy prices brought growth and rising living standards for many Russians, but economic inequality and regional differences remained. Everyday life in Russia varies greatly between big cities and small towns or rural areas. In Moscow and St. Petersburg, many people live in apartment buildings, use extensive metro systems, and work in services, government, finance, or technology. Shopping malls, cafes, and international brands are common, although in recent years some foreign companies have reduced their presence. In smaller cities and villages, people may rely more on local industries, agriculture, or public sector jobs. Winters are long and cold in much of the country, and daily routines adapt to snow and ice. Education is compulsory through secondary school, and Russia has a tradition of strong training in mathematics, physics, and engineering. Universities in major cities attract students from across the country and from abroad. Russian culture has had a significant impact on the world. The Russian language is the official language and uses the Cyrillic alphabet, but there are many other languages spoken in different regions. Russian literature includes famous writers such as Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, Chekhov, and Pushkin. Classical music and ballet are represented by names like Tchaikovsky and the Bolshoi Theater. Russian cinema, visual arts, and philosophy have also produced important works. Traditional customs include folk music and dance, wooden churches, and holiday celebrations such as New Year's Eve and Orthodox Christmas. Food traditions range from soups like borscht and solyanka to dumplings such as pelmeni and dishes based on potatoes, bread, and preserved vegetables, reflecting the cold climate. In the 21st century, Russia remains an important actor in global politics and security. It is a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council and has significant military capabilities, including nuclear weapons. Its relations with neighboring countries, the European Union, the United States, and international organizations are often the subject of intense debate. Supporters of the government emphasize national sovereignty and a desire to protect Russian interests and cultural identity. Critics inside and outside the country point to concerns about human rights, the rule of law, and the impact of foreign policy decisions, including conflicts involving Russia. For people watching from abroad, Russia can sometimes appear distant or difficult to understand because of its size, its history, and differences in language and politics. Learning about its geography, its past, and the everyday lives of its citizens can provide a more balanced picture. Russia is not only a topic in the news, it is also millions of families, students, workers, artists, and scientists building their own futures. This has been a quick overview of Russia, the world's largest country by land area. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, subscribe for more country profiles and neutral explainers, and tell us in the comments which country or topic you would like us to cover next.